Disaster in Samoa. At 0123 Samoan time on 7 October 1949, as the USS Chehalis lay alongside the Navy dock at Tutula, American Samoa, one of her gasoline tanks exploded, killing 6 of her 75-man crew. The ship burst into flames, capsized, and sank in 45 feet of seawater. She later slid off the ledge atop of which she had originally sunk into 150 feet of seawater. She was stricken from the Naval Register on 27 October 1949. Her salvaged hulk was later sold to the government of American Samoa in a contract entered into on 21 October 1955.
Divers on bottom.
In April and May of 2009, our team was called in to do some research and observation to collect data on the remaining fuel left on board. Over the course of 2 weeks, we recovered samples of fuel, and we measured and tested the fuel remaining on board. At a later date, the data collected in this particular time frame was used for the offload of all the fuel on board the vessel.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
This video also highlights some of the inherently dangerous work that Navy divers do.
It's not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who actually is in the arena, whose face is marred with dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming. But who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows the end and the triumph of a high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his face shall never be with those cold and timid souls who never know victory nor defeat.
The vessel had a large number of tanks that we had to measure, and this particular tank was out of reach and difficult to get to. It was difficult to stay on station as the umbilicals to the surface were pulling us off the job site, and then the weight of the diver hanging off the edge was also making it difficult to stay on the job site.
Red diver, let us know when you start drilling. Topside, starting to drill.
Working underwater like that has its challenges. As you can see, he's just dangling over the side there. Doesn't have a platform to work from, so he's having to figure out how to manage his tools, all while hanging on the weight of his harness and trying not to fall to a deeper depth, delaying actual progress on the job. This was a fun part of the dive where I noticed the ROV hovering about and filming us, so I waved to the camera.
Yeah. Hi. Hi.
Greenhorn! We can't change what happened on that tragic day well over 60 years ago. But what we could do was change the course of history and where we were headed. We did make a change that day. What will you do to change the trajectory of our history as man? And what are you doing today to make things better around you?
No.
Divers, return to the stage. Totally bottom.
We had the privilege of trying out the new in-water O2 decompression procedures.
Both divers observe each other for oxygen toxicity.
This map slide shows all the different targets that are out there that could be potential jobs for you in the future. Removing pollutants from our environment.